Hi everyone, I'm starting with Ethereum this time because I haven't provided an Ethereum forecast for the whole of October. So where we are right now, today was forecasted to be a red closure, 61% historical probability, Diox is enemy number one to Ethereum. However, today Diox is very bullish for Ethereum, for Bitcoin. That is why Ethereum is pumping as well. And that's why these percentages are never 100% or 90%. They're always kind of diluted because Ethereum is following Bitcoin quite often, right? But NATO should, if Ethereum was an independent entity, the NATO should be like 90% red closures for 23rd of October. So never mind, it's not really a big deal that the daily time frame gets invalidated. What is the reason for posting this video for you right now is to forecast that we have only a few more days left before we start going up. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Whether it will be 26th or 27th, it's difficult to tell. The worst day in the coming days, in the coming week, the worst day technically is the day of the Earth Dragon, which is the 26th of October, because the Earth Dragon is the break of the month. This month is the month of the dog, so the dragon is the break of the month, and therefore it is expected to be the worst day of the month. That is why this is a bespoke coloring. You can see this is different. The previous forecast that I have made here with the saturated colors are based on the historical probabilities of every single day in the cycle, in the Chinese cycle, without any regard what that animal means to Ethereum or what that animal means to the relevant year, to the current month, because these are completely different considerations. First of all, I wanted to understand how they're performing practically, and that is why I have made that table here, how each daily time frame is performing practically. Secondly, I wanted to understand what cycles they're projecting. What the whole purpose of these daily time frames is that they give us the cycles, and a lot of people still struggle to understand that. Somebody criticized me recently publicly without mentioning my name, but they said she doesn't understand why somebody would be studying daily time frames and will be trying to nail daily time frames, because nailing a pivot is a matter of understanding daily time frames. That's why, and that's what I'm aspiring to do. I nailed two pivots this year, the 11th of June and 13th of August. If you go back to previous videos, you will see those of you who have had this package from those days. You know, I didn't manage to nail this pivot on the 7th of October. It came a bit earlier. So the cycle is alive and well because this pivot happened within the same 5 days of the previous pivots. The same 7 days actually. Between 7th of October and 13th of August there are 7 days. So within the same week of the cycle we're getting 3 pivots, 3 pivot highs, and we have had the 10th of April low or the 9th of April bottom, yearly bottom of Ethereum, right? So 4 pivots in total, 3 highs, 1 low in the same week of the cycle. But who gave us this cycle? It's the daily time frames that gave us this cycle. And that is why I have made all of these efforts to study the daily time frames from the beginning of Ethereum's life. I've never been concerned with the daily time frames, how they will close. And if I'm wrong on a daily time frame prediction, I really don't lose any sleep over it. But the whole point of them is that they give us the cycle. Which part of the cycle is a pivot low? Which part of the cycle is a pivot high? That's what we want to know. And in that way, once we know the pivots, then we know the trend line. But so much shortage of understanding out there, it's just crazy. Anyway, let them believe in their own limited understanding. And meanwhile, we're making very big progress here. So this is the bottom that this cycle is giving us. Why do I think the 27th is a bottom? 27th of October, because this is the last red forecast. Look at that. After that, red comes quite later, not for some time. So that's why this clearly is a pivot low. If it This is the forecast, this is the cycle, this is the pivot low. It may not manifest to the exact date. It may manifest one date sooner. Or as we see here with the top, it manifested 5 days sooner than the August top, and it manifested 2 days earlier than the June top, and 5 days earlier than the August top. But this is still a cycle. The cycle is still alive and well. That is considered quite normal to deviate with a few days. So these saturated colors are my forecasts based on the historical probabilities. And now the next thing that I do is the historical probability is giving us the deer snake. That is the 27th of October will be the bottom for Ethereum. After that, there are no red forecasts. After the earth snake, nothing else. Everything else is green. Right. But the earth dragon, which is the month breaker of Ethereum, that of the month breaker of the dog, right? The month of October is the dog. That is the 26th. So that's why I have highlighted the 26th for this particular month. In other years, in other months, Deer Dragon is not going to be a month breaker. It's only a month breaker in October. So it's very possible that Ethereum makes the bottom on the 26th instead of the 27th. If we look at the fractals, the fractal is showing the 27th. Okay, and then if you want to know what happens in November, then you have to get the Ethereum package, and you will find out for November. But I wanted to comfort you to know that we're going up, you know, because a lot of people are so insecure. Like, are you kidding me? Like, here, this is retesting. This is giving us a retest of support. Look how nicely it is making so far. It is making higher lows. It is retesting support. It's staying on support. What is it so much to be worried about? I have not been worried about Ethereum at all. I mean, here, this is just playing at resistance. This was never support, because anyone who knows the VWAP range, this is the professional range. They're not going to go higher from here before they touch the bottom. And if you didn't sell here like me, because we're stubborn and we want to sell at 5,000, I just want to have that gratification of selling at 5,000 for all of my hard work that I do. I want to reward myself at selling at 5,000. So because we're chasing that gratification, we didn't sell here. And we knew very well what was coming. We knew that a retracement was coming. So now we have to be tough. We have to continue to be tough and stay within endure the punches, and hopefully sell at the next stop. In my video to subscribers for November, I will describe what I expect from November. Okay, so that's Ethereum covered for you. 26 to 27 bottoms. Moving to Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin chart now. Where we left it last time, I said that it became clear to me that if we made a top here on the 6th of October, that is very near to the 9th of June. It was just one day away from the 9th of June top. So clearly we're following this cycle here. So it made the top one day earlier than the top in June. Only one day. And it made the bottom, how many days? 2 days. or 3 days earlier. 3 days earlier than the bottom on the 22nd of June. The 17th of October was the bottom. Let's have a look on the chart. So 17th of October bottom, that was the bottom projected by several metrics that I reported on Twitter. And then from there on, continues to retest support, and there will be another low. The fractal is showing another low on 24th of October is coming, and then some more days of retests before we start heading up again. So for as long as we're maintaining support and we're making higher lows again, there is nothing to be worried about. I know people are frustrated because it's not going up, but that is a separate matter. That is a frustration for not going up is not the same as it's not the same as being worried. There is really no place for worry right now. Okay, and then we made another bottom yesterday on the 22nd of October. And then the next bottom that is projected for Bitcoin by the Chinese time frame, according to the Chinese time frames, the bottoms are already in. But according to the solar eclipse cycle, we're expecting a bottom on the 24th of October. According to the daily time frames, 24th of October is an interesting day because it has the fire tiger, which has a very high probability of closing on green. 24th of October, 61% probability of closing on green, but the eclipse cycle has identified it as a low. And then we have Apogee, and we have Lunar Day 4, and all of these are bearish events. So despite that 61% probability of closing on the fire tiger, that's the only bullish projection for tomorrow. Everything else is bearish for tomorrow. Oh, hold on. We have Mercury making a trine to Jupiter tomorrow. That's not bearish at all. So 24 is difficult to nail. I have put it as a red in my forecast on Twitter. You know, this experimental forecast that I'm running, this is now 3rd month that I'm running this on Twitter. Sorry. And so far it's performing quite well. It's a completely different to what I have given to subscribers, because it is only in testing stage right now, so I'm not giving it to subscribers until I have done 1 year of testing of this product. So tomorrow is red according to the daily time frames forecast to this system. And then 25th is green, and then 26, 27, 28 red. But I said in my tweet, in the text, that I expect some of these reds to be invalidated. Okay, so I really, for Ethereum, I'm kind of, it's more defined. It's easier to say 26, 27 is a bottom. That's for Ethereum. Let me just close this one. But for Bitcoin, it's harder to tell exactly on what day we'll be making a bottom. We may end up making the bottom all the way on the 29th, because although unlikely, it's really unlikely that we'll make the bottom then. But we have a very big gun date making a bottom then. So 29th of October is 10 cycles of 45 days from the 5th of August bottom. Quite a big date. So this is the last bottom before we go out, before we go up. I really cannot tell you. I know that here we do a few more retracements. 26 is looking very weak because of that Earth Dragon Day that is exactly in opposition to the dog. So the dog will really destroy that day. That day will be in a very weak position, the 26th. But then, what are the eclipse cycles are bullish for 26th? So it's very difficult actually. And look, the historical probabilities are very bullish for 26th as well. 27th is also bullish. So it doesn't look like we're going to be going in a straight line down for Bitcoin. It looks like we're going to go up for a few days, or one day up, one day down. That's what it looks like. So if we have a look here on the chart, sorry, this is the Ethereum chart. Looking on the Bitcoin chart, I had another actually Bitcoin chart. Just 1 second, please. Okay, here it is. So looking for pivots here. '25th, according to this chart, 25th is the low, and according to the daily time frames, 24th is the low, and according to the daily time frames that you already have, those of you who are subscribers, some more lows may happen on the 26th and 29th. Let me have a look here on the daily time frames. 26, 27, 28 are here. So I cannot pin down more than this. I really don't know which one of these will be the lowest date, but I'm warning you that these are coming, so at least one of them will manifest as a low. Scary low. And that's it. We're going up after that. And I will discuss in November what I expect from November. So this is it for today. Enjoy your evening, and rest assured that we will be going up soon after the last lows in the coming days. Bye.